What's up, party people? Welcome to episode 51 of the MailleWerX live streams. How is everyone doing tonight? Alright, let's see here. Oh. Let's get the awkward stuff done out of the way. Turn that down real quick. Sure. There we go. Just getting the share done. Man, oh man. All right. Hey Barb, how you doing? Alright, I think that's good enough. What's going on tonight? How you doing? Oh. Whoo, buddy. Alright. Man, did I have a day. I tell you what. You're not bad? I'm just glad today's over. I'm ready for the weekend. This week has been quite a drain on me. Which... I don't mind working hard, but man, there was a lot of extra stuff this week that's like, you know, we didn't need all that, you know what I mean? You finished another dragon? Cool. How come I'm ready for the week to be over? Just cause I had let's turn Frank on here and get to work, but so much extra stuff. That eyebrow's so comical to me. Oh, I had a patient who, let's see here. When I walked into his house, he had ridiculously low blood pressure, and of course he didn't want to go to the hospital. And I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to go, but it's like... So I spent almost an hour on the phone trying to get a hold of his doctor and his team to let them know what was going on, see if they could do something else to help him, you know? So that took forever, and of course... The institution with which I was working was not, they're well known for not being the most, what do you call it, customer service friendly. Quite the opposite really for them. So, just trying to get a hold of someone was probably 10 minutes waiting through robot calls. So I got that done. I, spent the rest of the day, a lot of the rest of the day, trying to get them to call me back. So which, you know, shouldn't be a hard thing to do, but they didn't call me back regarding him, so I'll give him a call tomorrow. And then a patient that I didn't even see today was acting funny and having changes in mentation, and I guess her leg had swollen up pretty good, and the aide that had gone to see her today reported that the leg was like bright red. So, and she already has a wound on that leg, so she clearly has an infection of some kind. So I spent the rest of the day trying to get a hold of her doctor, who never called me back. So I get to spend a bunch of time tomorrow trying to figure out how to get a hold of him. So, and then the fun part with her is that she has like community service, patient advocates, right? So like people within companies that work within the community for people in her like economic situation, who are supposed to be able to help when things aren't being addressed. And they were, you know, they were pretty useless. So just kind of a frustrating day trying to get nothing done and spending a lot of energy and then not getting anything done, you know. Hey Larry, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. That really is our favorite thing here, when we get people showing up. It makes the night go by so much faster. It's ridiculous. All right. So, yeah. Instead of, you know, having a nice, relaxing day at work where I go in and I get all my stuff done and get out of there, I was playing Find the Doctor so that I can take care of my patients. Yeah, it's a Raiders flag. Long time ago, I made a Packers flag for one friend and a University of Michigan flag for another, and I promised my third friend, these are all guys I knew from high school, that I would make him a Raiders flag. And I was never able to get around to it. So here we are, many years later, trying to finish projects that have been laying around for far too long. I'm glad that you noticed what it was right away, because that makes me think that it looks like what it should look like, which is good. I like that. It was exhausting. And I mean, not the end of the world or anything, but man. And then in the middle of it all, right, I had to stop what I was doing and go get my kid because power went out at school. They're doing some kind of construction on the along the road that his school is on, and power went out, so they hit a transformer or something. I have no idea how many rings this is going to be, or even if I have enough rings. I have a lot of rings, so I shouldn't run out. Alright. This song is annoying. I've already thumbed down this song. Let's skip it, see what that does. I don't know why, I just find that song annoying. Yeah, I have no idea how many rings it is currently or how many rings it's going to end up. It's European 6-in-1. So a lot in the end. That's all I know. I have plenty of rings for it. I will probably have some left over, but it will further the goal of trying to get rid of rings that have been laying around for the better part of 10 years. So hopefully it uses up most of them, you know. See how are we doing here? That probably needs to be okay. We can make some adjustments, but I think we're going in the right direction. One, two, three. Kinda. Alright, nope. Right here. We're gonna switch these out real quick. Just working on this sword up here in the corner. This is one of the things that when I started this project, I kind of worked on it, and then I got intimidated and let it stop me, and then I didn't want to go back to it. So now that I'm actually doing it, it's easier than I expected, kind of. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out in the end. If I could do this differently, I totally would have. You can't wait to show your work off. Gonna have 25,575 rings. Holy crap. Holy cannoli. I can't wait for you to show that off too. That sounds amazing. One of the portions of the app I'm working on is a inspiration gallery where, you know, with permission from certain artists, I want to put in like really big chainmail pieces, really awesome chainmail pieces, right? Like the epic pieces that people have made. And that sounds pretty epic. 25,000 rings. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Yeah, baby. Alright, I think that's the wrong color ring, but I don't know. Maybe not. Hmm. $25,000 rings. I have a shirt that has 20,000 rings in it. It's a Trinity shirt. That's probably one of the bigger projects I've done. It's also my best shirt, right? So can you say what you're working on, or are you keeping it a secret until it's unveiled? I like to do like work in progress shots as I go along and post those. But, you know, for of the How many projects have we done on here so far? 4? I think this is number 4. 2 of which haven't been completely finished yet. What was I saying? Something about getting project done. Oh, of the 4 projects that I've done, right, I almost never get work in progress pics. Your white zombie one was 14,440 rings. Holy crap, dude. It's gonna be a big reveal? Sweet. Sweet. A little red, a little black, and some silver. Nice. Alright, I think we want to do this. I'm just guessing where to put these rings. I don't actually know, so. I think that had I gone and pushed forward with just getting like the basics down earlier, I could have, you know, like 10 years ago when this was started, I could have pushed through and finished it. But I let it get into my head for too long that it was, you know, just not something I could freehand, and I would need to go back and do all the prep work, and so, which I should still do, but it's kind of turning out, and I kind of like it as it is right now, so we're gonna keep going and adjusting until, which is going to make it take longer. Alright, how's that look? Does that kind of look like a saber sticking up out of the top there? I think that looks okay. You know, I mean, there was also a lot of turmoil that prevented me from getting this done. So it's not entirely that I built the project up too much in my head. So there was cross-country moves and job changes and having a kid and, you know, life happening, so it's not entirely a mental blockade that I, you know, put up myself. There were some actual things preventing it from getting done, but now I have, you know, got my desk downstairs, I have this stream and you guys to help keep me accountable for coming down here and getting stuff done. You know, some stability enough to where I have time to work on Chainmail. So, alright. Kind of interesting. If I look at it on the camera, it looks, and it's like I can perceive it a little bit differently than if I'm just like looking at it directly. You know what I mean? Feel like you should be doing a swatch to help out. That's, you know, that'd be perfect. Just outsource a chainmail inlay to everyone. It's kind of like the quilt project. it's kind of like what that's all about, which I think is an awesome project. If I'm being honest with myself, one of those things where it's like, oh, I wish I thought of that. Yeah, that's how we should do chainmail inlays in the future. Just everybody take a section, knock it out real quick, and someone will seam it together, and we'll mass produce inlays that way on the cheap. Shipping costs might be prohibitive. Jumped a ring there. Yeah, group chainmail, exactly. We can do shirts the same way. Everybody just take a portion real quick and knock it out. Send it to someone. And you got some new kits in the mail? Sweet. What'd you get? Nope. I want to get more kits. It's just convenient, right? Like, I don't make my own rings because I cannot produce the quality of ring that other people can with what I have on hand, and I would have to heavily invest in equipment, which, you know, don't rule it out, right? But it's highly unlikely I'll ever do so. Even for my own, like, personal use. You know, if I do it at all, it would definitely start out as that. What have I done here? Do I even know what I'm doing? Nope. Okay. Oh, I see what I did. Too many rings on that side. All right. I think that is what I meant to do. Hold on. You want to get into making your own titanium rings? Sweet. That is looking bad. Is it bad? I don't know. Hang on. Like, right there. I don't know, it's not terrible. I'll take a closer look at it later. Just get the bulk of it down now and then smooth out the lines and do one side and then mirror it on the other is, I don't know, it seems to like be where I'm going here. Hoping that works. from Zen Jump Supplies pendants, nice, using titanium and stainless. Metal frames, balls, and scales coming your way, sweet. Yeah. It looks badass. I'm glad you like it. Someone else needs to like the Raiders besides my friend. He's the only Raiders fan I know. There we go. The Raiders deserve at least 2 fans, right? I don't know. I'm not a sports fan, so I really can't say anything. I'm inundated by Packer people over here in Wisconsin, and they're nice enough, you know. But don't say anything bad about the Packers, or they might knife you in the back. And it might be like a 63-year-old neighbor lady who you thought was really sweet until you say the wrong thing and she gets you with her kitchen knife. Balls and scales sounds like a bad date. Oh man, I know how to breathe. I breathe air. You guys crack me up. Yeah, I think I first saw a kit at a show I was at, and I want to say it was a We've Got Mail kit that someone who did not sell Chainmail was selling. They were just selling the kit, right? And they had a bunch of them. I thought that was the coolest thing. It's like, yeah, take the headache out of it for people, you know? Everybody... Well, not everybody, but a lot of people hop on and they're like, what ring size should I get? You vape too? You vape and breathe air? Yeah. Oh man, I've got the foot massager going, and I really needed that today. It's nice. Foot massage and chainmail. It's not much better. Alright, so hopefully tomorrow, I need a black ring in here. Hopefully tomorrow will go well, and I can figure out, you know, where the doctors are for all my patients that I have, and I can go see the patients that I have scheduled tomorrow without an issue. And then I can enjoy my weekend, because I work in a relatively small community. 20 minutes to make the damn thing, 4 hours to order the rings. Yeah, I believe it. And so, and I'm on call this weekend, so Hopefully I don't get any calls. The knock on wood, knock on real wood, knock on fake wood. So if I can get these 2 patients handled, right, then I won't have to worry about them over the weekend, which, you know, with their condition being what it is, right, it's, if they call on the weekend, they're gonna have to go to the hospital. You wish you had a really big warehouse with AWG and SWG? You bet I'm a great nurse? I'm okay. I'm not God's gift to nursing, but I'm okay. Most of my patients like me, and, you know, I think I'm taking good care of them, so. But I do have 2 right now that are, they're not doing so hot, so it's gotta, hopefully I can get them handled tomorrow. It's gonna, you know, if they call and need something, it's be like, you need to go to the hospital. Alright, so I gotta like round this out a little bit more, but I like how it looks, right, for starters. Oh, whew. Alright. So, well, by the time, like right here is where it starts to curve. Right here down where the eye patch touches is where it starts to curve inward, so like it kind of pops out here a little more than what I have it and circles round to the, starts to come back in at just above the eye patch. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be perfect at the moment. You know, it's going to take more time to do it this way, but just getting the rings down is a big improvement over having them sit in a coffee can. So that makes me happy. And then, you know, 5 years from now, once we get through all the rings, we'll finally be able to order some more. That'll probably also be the next time I can afford some, so. What am I doing here? That's not what I want to do. So once I get everyone tucked in tomorrow, I'm gonna hang out with the family this weekend. I might take the boys to the movies. Get them out of the house, my neighbor kid and my son. I don't know if anything's playing, I haven't looked yet. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that. Just sent you a picture of your dragon. Alright, hang on. Ooh, that's nice, Barb. Good job. I like your colors too. Those are fun. I need to make one of those one day. It seems fairly straightforward, so I'm sure trying to figure it out will be a fun thing to do. I don't know what's more fun for you guys, like watching me make stuff or watching me struggle. Because I admit that, yeah, you love that purple? Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice purple. If I was watching me, I would get enjoyment out of me struggling. Ah. I wonder if I can just take this picture and like grid it out a little bit. If I blew it up and gridded it out, if it would help me with like getting my lines in the right place. I bet it would. I should do that. That seems like a simple thing I could do. It's from TRL. It's called Radical Violet. All right, Larry, have a good night. Sorry about your internet taking a poo. We don't want none of those internet problems here. Yeah, it's a nice dragon, huh, Tara? Nice job, Barb. You do good work. All right. This saber's getting to be a little much. I think actually that's about right. We're gonna cut it off right here. Oh, my socks are falling down. You start back to school on Tuesday? Congratulations. Good job. Good job for you. You finally figured out the music thing because you're a musician, and if you didn't, it would be pretty stupid. You're a student, not a teacher. You'll be taking digital media. Cool. Very cool. Good for you. My dad, he has been going to school for ever since I can remember. He just goes and gets, takes a class here and there, and he has I believe he has a master's degree in something. I don't know what. But it took him like 10 years to get it, because once he got to a certain point, right, like a bunch of his classes that he had taken earlier on weren't any good anymore, because he would have had to have a degree within like 5 years of getting them or something. So he had to take a bunch more. It's going to be weird because it's all online, not in a classroom. I prefer classes like that. Jethro Tull is very shanty-like, and that is what a lot of the stuff he plays, so that's why it sounds... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I knew who Jethro Tull was. I knew who you meant. I don't have any influence over what plays on here except for the occasional thumbs down or thumbs up on a song. So, and I don't do that very often. I probably thumbed up or thumbed down 2 or 3 songs. It is just what Pretzel Rock plays. Pretzel Rock is a service that gives you like unlicensed music so that you can stream it to platforms like YouTube and Facebook without getting dinged by those platforms. Ooh. Yeah, I prefer online. You love the selection? Good. Good. I don't mind it. I wish I had the option to play some stuff, but since I am on 3 different platforms simultaneously, I thought it was wise to just avoid the whole issue and get this service. About 3 years, depends on your CDC counselor and your EIA caseworker. You have an E4 in 1 cache question? What's up, Kevin? How you doing, buddy? Ask away. I'm sure someone here can help. The audience is chock full of excellent mailers. You've never taken an online class? Yeah. My degree was all in classroom, and it was largely a waste of time, so I would have much preferred the ease of being at home. It looks like once you get the initial 5 rows done, is it then you just run off and add as many rows as you need? The initial 5 rows. One benefit is that you don't have to go out in the cold. Yeah, that's a big benefit. Once you get the initial 5 rows done, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, like you're talking like you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, right? And then you can lengthen it this way as much as you want, and you can lengthen it this way as much as you want. Is that your question? If I'm following along correctly? And you just add as many rows as you need. Oh, yeah. It actually starts with 3, then you add a row, yeah, and add a row, and yeah, and you just keep adding rows until you have as many as you want for whatever, you know, your purposes are. And then you work through the mental issue of having to add another row, and then you add another row. And then you get to the point where you think you've added enough rows, and you add another row. Yeah, you just keep going. Keep going until it drives you insane. That's how it's always worked for me. I love it when my hat causes a shadow to make it so that I can't see the ring closures. And these black rings, like there's not enough light in here to see all that I need to. So if you ever see this in person, like a bunch of the closures suck, it's not just because I'm terrible, it's also because the lighting in here is, you know, not the best. I think I can put a brighter overhead light in here. Maybe that's what I should try. You know, just get like a 10,000 watt bulb and make it look like the sun up there. You're welcome. You haven't declared a major, Barb? Yeah, if you got 3 years left. Good on you for going to school, though. That's something I'll never do again. Renee's back in school, so that's enough. Well, I'll never go back to school for, like, to advance my nursing degree. Right? A bachelor's is as far as I'll go in this field. So, all right. This kind of looks like something, you know? Yeah, kind of looks like something. All right. Some success. Do I have to get certified and upgrade every year? I don't have to upgrade, but I do have to do, like, certifications. You're just trying to take some class and get some training under your belt so you can get off disability and support yourself in the real world. Good for you. Does Canada have a cap on how much you can earn when you're disabled? Like if you make too much money, you can't be disabled? Get one of those 5,000 lumen LED lights? Yeah. Nice. I know in the States, like, if you're on disability and then you make too much money, or you get too much money, they stop paying for a bunch of stuff. Because some of the kids that I've taken care of would lose their coverage for a little bit, and the parents would have to reapply. And explain, like, you know, why they had this influx of money, or why the kid had so much money or whatever. You can make a certain percent of what you make on disability. Yeah. Which, you know, for people who are disabled, right? Like, the benefit is there for a reason, right? To help people who are disabled. So if you're disabled and are also able to make money, right? I mean, I suppose at some point that you would eventually make so much money that you wouldn't need disability, but it's like the threshold for that is so low from what I've seen that it's just really risky to try and earn any money while you're on disability, because, you know, next thing you know, you've lost your main income, and you can really get screwed up that way. So people don't get that because you look able-bodied. Hey, you know what? People are judgy, nosy sons of bitches, so they think they know better than everyone. I know plenty of people who are very disabled that look very able-bodied. So I don't know if, you know, that'll ever stop. Like, you're always gonna have people judging you. Doesn't matter what you do. You know, there's no getting away from that, but like, I'm not, you know, how disability and government benefits, how they get collected and handed out, I'm like, I wish that was different, but, you know, I think that it is important to, you know, provide for people in need. Yeah, it's okay. Trying to get medical for mom who's in a facility for dementia. Yeah. Medicaid. It's getting that income in place before you get off disability. Yeah, here if they, you know, even sniff that you've made any money, they'll take you right off. It's kind of, like, I know a bunch of people who it's happened to, and it's like, that is the wrong way to be going about it, you know. It's like, you know, yeah, this kid on a ventilator who gets Medicare, Medicaid, right? How are you going to take away his disability or his Medicare, Medicaid? You know, you work in a Medicaid office. What do you know about how ill they are? Bureaucrats. Hate them. Alright, Barb, have a good night. Feel better, okay? You ended up paying a lawyer to do all the paperwork? Yeah, so I think it's just easier that way. I know for VA benefits, there is a company who will go through my medical record and look up the things I can claim. So I'm gonna pay them to do it. I'm a good man. Well, I try to be. I didn't mean to make Barb cry. You know, it's a topic of conversation with which I am familiar, and so I was just rambling on. Guess I should put a warning on here, you know. Don't take anything this guy says seriously, because he's half full of shit, but sometimes he knows what he's talking about. Alright. The edge of this helmet is a little wonky. The eyebrow is a little wonky. The eye patch and the sword are the two elements that are, like, kind of holding it together still, and I think we can finesse everything else out. Hope. I don't want that sword to get too big. It might already be. You know, I mean, that almost looks... Here's the picture. Right? That kind of pops out almost enough. It's also at an angle on the computer screen that I'm looking at, and it doesn't... Like, when you're looking at it flat, there's definitely room to improve how it pops out over here. So, alright. Ooh. Ow. Let's see if we can finish wrapping that around. I think I know what to do. That should bring us right around. Yeah, okay. So I was thinking, like, I think one of the projects I would like to do at some point is a big Harley inlay. Like a big Harley Davidson inlay. Like, it's kind of cliche, you know, but I saw someone who did one once before, and they wanted more than what I had available for it. So I don't know if that's wide enough. So I think we won't get to that anytime soon, but I would like to do a Harley inlay and hang it up down here somewhere. There's not too many like high-end mainstream brands that I enjoy, but I have a Road King in the garage that I got as an anniversary present, and I like it a lot. So I don't mind like Harley gear. I think an inlay would be a nice addition to the decorations down here. How do I know what ring to put where? This is entirely a guess. I'm freehanding this, which is a really bad idea for an inlay. It definitely pays and saves time to do the legwork to get your number of rings down, where each ring is going to go, well before you even order the rings, right? But I did not do that when I ordered these rings and started this project, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So, I'm, stuck with, working with what I have, which is a picture, right? And some know-how and some gumption. That's all I got. That's the only way I know where to put what ring. And it's mostly worked. Like, you can tell that eyebrows doesn't even go. Here's the eye down here, so the eyebrow's completely off point, right? That is the starting point for the eye, kind of, right? But it also goes over here, So, can inlays be done with 20 gauge 1/8 rings? You could. I wouldn't. If I were gonna redo, if I had to redo this project all over again, right? I would do 18 gauge 5/32. That's a very common weave for. I'm not a very common ring size for many popular inlay makers. I've done an inlay in 22 gauge 1/8 stainless and brass, and it can be done, right? But an inlay, you want the ring to fill up as much space inside the rings it's connected to as possible while still being able to make a functional weave, you know? So 20 gauge 1/8 would be loose in that regard. But yeah, you can definitely do it. This is getting narrower than I want too quickly. So, I hope that helps and wasn't confusing. Right, because if I were to use these 18 gauge, let me give you an example. Right, if I was to use these 18 gauge rings, right, there would be a lot of air, let's say, or a lot of space for light to get through in between the rings, right? But if I bump these up to 16 gauge 1/4 inch or maybe 17 gauge 1/4 inch, right, the rings are much fatter, much closer together, right? And there's not as much, there's more color taking up space than there is light. Yeah, the 18 gauge 5/32 shows off the color really well, and it's pretty much like a 1 ring per pixel kind of deal, right? Like, I think you can take 18 gauge 5/32 and make a square out of it fairly easily, like, you know, a 8x8 square. I think. Don't quote me on that, but that is my understanding. I think that gridding out an inlay and then using 18 gauge 5/32 rings to make it is probably easier in general. What is huge? This how big this inlay is going to end up, or how big your inlay is going to end up? Come on. So, you know, I'd love to return these rings and start the whole project over with a much more preferable ring size, but, you know, that's not going to happen, so I got to work with what I got. It's coming along, you know. We're getting there. Let's see how it goes. It's like if we can get the bulk of it done, right, and then just finesse out the little details afterwards. Oh, knowing that the 18 gauge 5/32 ring uses 1 pixel, yeah, you can make it so that it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, right? I gotcha. So if you take an image and you blow it up and pixelate it out, and then use that ring size for each pixel, you should get something fairly close to what your image looks like. So, like with the ratios and proportions correct. You know, an inlay will never be a perfect image, but from what I understand, that is as close as you can get. I think I'm just going to finish off this edge with the way it's going now, and then we will shape it later. And I'm sure that there are other like ring sizes with the same aspect ratio that 18 gauge 5/32 has that you can do the same thing with. I just don't know what those ring sizes are. You know? And on some scale, you go, if you make the ring too big, or if you make the ring too small, then it's just impossible to work with, period. So I guess that that's why people like it. It's also like fairly sturdy in that ring size too, even, you know, for aluminum, right? There's not a lot of room for, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's where, right, like, because this ring is so thin and wiry, I can open and close it with my fingers and, you know, manipulate it that way. And 18 gauge 5/32 is tough enough that, you know, you really can't do that. So you can make a bunch of it, from what I understand, or make a bunch of E4-1 out of it, and it's, if you hang it up, it's not going to tear itself apart that easily. You've seen a bunch of very impressive pieces, yeah. You want to do an inlay of the Davis family crest? Nice. Yeah, I want to do a couple more inlays for down here in the basement, decorate the walls, but I've got the puzzles that that is not what I want. The chainmail themed puzzles that I did that I still want to put together and get, you know, framed and mounted on the walls down here too. So I hope that I will be able to have them all up someday, or at least a bunch of them. Thanks for the like, Kevin. I appreciate it. I do. thank you for being here. Harley Davidson inlay, a skull and crossbones inlay, that would be nice, like a big one. A couple others. All right. I know a bunch of people like to do like video game characters and Pokemons, and those are fun. I wish I could like do a chainmail print design with any of those characters on there. You love work, you could watch it all day long? Or you mean like you like watching people make chainmail? Because if you like work that you could watch it all day long that much, good on you. I hope, you know, I hope that you really enjoy your job. I do not enjoy my job nearly enough to watch it all day long, so. But I'm assuming you're talking about like watching me do this. Which I understand, because I love watching people work on chainmail too. And that is how this all started. I was like, I saw someone doing it and I was like, whoa, that's a good idea. And then a year later, I was finally in a position to start doing it. So, I don't, you know, I don't have the best camera, I don't have the best lighting, but you know what? We do all right here. So far. It's a nice, simple stream. Make small talk and bullshit about, you know, the video skipping on your end. Alright. You know, you sit here and it's nice to be on here and talk to you guys. Much more enjoyable than sitting here down here by myself, which I don't mind. I don't mind talking to myself, which is what I'd be doing anyway, but sometimes you ever get stuck in a repeat loop where you keep thinking the same thing over and over again, or you keep saying the same thing over and over again? That happens a lot when I'm down here by myself, you know? So I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad that people show up. Oh wow, would you look at that? It was all just kind of mangled piece with pieces put together before, and now we kind of almost have like a square to work on. Sweet. All right. Okay. So I think this sword's gonna have to get thinned out a little bit, but it looks okay. This needs to come out a little bit more across the top here. I like the way it kind of slopes in here. Like, that's kind of looking on par with the picture, and then the eyebrow, and you know, we're getting somewhere. I'm pretty happy. I got down here and got a lot of stuff done tonight. So I almost used up a bunch of the rings too that I had pulled out. I have plenty more rings. All right. But yeah, 2 piles of rings and got a lot of stuff done. What time is it? Yeah, perfect. 10 o'clock. All right, guys. I want to say thank you very much to everyone who hung out tonight, and especially the ones hanging out right now. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you being here. Okay. So, oh, my elbow. All right. So I'll be back. Let's see here. I will be back on probably tomorrow night, and if not, at the latest Saturday. Should be able to get a lot of good work done over the weekend, which includes like website work. I want to redo the whole website face, and that's going to take a while, and I got to get to the SEO stuff. Have to, right? And then we got to get to more design work and get more chainmail themed products out there and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And we got to do app work, and we got to do work on the Etsy website, and you know, it's just nothing but work all the time. So thanks for hanging out with me, because I love doing this, and it's been really fun since we got started. So if you want to see more of this, be sure to go to MailleWerX.com. You gotta subsidize what you want to see more of in the world. Help me spread the good word of chainmail to the masses. They don't know how awesome it is. We're gonna have to show them. We're gonna have to hold their hand and pull them along, and that way we can make chainmail a global phenomenon. I'm so full of shit. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.